everybody, welcome to my channel. Let me just put you back just a little bit. Oh, you're still not. Let me put you a little bit back, a little bit more. Okay. Oh my God, it is really windy out here, so oh my God. So I don't know, let me see. I just don't want the camera to fall off. Okay, maybe that's better. I just don't want it to fall off the table. So it's Tuesday, Tuesday tea time, or Tea Time Tuesday. And yeah, I tried to come out here with all these little things. Everything just started flying off the table. So I'm trying to come out here as, you know, as the weather, like I said, as the weather permits, because right, it's supposed to be like it's 57 degrees right now, although it doesn't really feel like 57 degrees, but it's supposed to be 57. Okay, so we are drinking black cherry berry berry tea. That's what we're having. And I don't know, I had made like this little for Halloween. I had made like this whole little tray, a little miniature tray. Everything was black and everything like that. I go, maybe I should make a big one like that. So it can go with the gloomy day. Anyway, so glad you're here. I don't know how we're gonna be able to work this because it's just, let's see, just show you what I'm going to be drinking. And like I said, it's already a little bit, it's not cold out here at all, and I'm just scared that the wind's gonna blow down. I like the color, it's so pretty. I like the color of the tea. I didn't want to bring my glass one out, only because I didn't want to take chances of it, what do you call it, it falling. So, you know, didn't want to, you know, have glass shattered all over the place. Okay, so on the menu, what are we having? We are having, I ripped this bag open the wrong way, but it's winter neck. I don't know if you can see it. So it's winter neck. It's dark chocolate gingerbread hearts, and they're shaped like gingerbread, heart-shaped gingerbread with apricot fruit filling. That's what caught me, the fruit filling. I was like, I like anything with fruit, so I'll try it. And coated in dark chocolate. So yeah, they really are. They are coated. So let's see how they look. I'm gonna try to put that there so it won't fall. Let's see how they look inside. Oh, that looks good, right? I like anything with fruit inside. Like, oh, what are called, those figs? The figs, the Newton figs. I could eat a whole package of those all by myself. Well, you don't get much of an apricot taste, but I think because the ginger covers it. So, I mean, it's still good. It's still sweet, but yeah, that not much, but it looks good, right? It's like a good little lump. can see it. It's in there. Mmm. But then after you taste it, with the chocolate and the bread, it's like the ginger covers it. I have to bring somebody out here because I'm collecting all these sweets. Like, I'm collecting sweets and they're piling up on me. I'm like, what am I gonna do with all of this? The kids are not gonna eat it. They're not gonna like it. They're into Twinkies and ding dongs and all that stuff. So otherwise I'm just gonna have to package it up and give it to the girls at the bank. How about that movie of Wednesday? Oh wow, that sounded sharp. That next series of Wednesday, that was so cute. That was like really, really cute. I really did enjoy it. Only because I think I liked the dancing part that she did. I really, really did like that. I don't know if you want to call it the story. The story was pretty cool. I think I already knew who the monster was, even though you kind of like got a hint right off the, I say about in the 4th episode or 5th, you already kind of knew who the monster was. But the way the whole thing was played out, the ending for me was a little slow, but other than that, I loved it. I loved Morticia. She was played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. And yeah, so I mean, they didn't really play the other characters that much, other than what they have shown what happened in the past or why, you know. But the school, I loved the school. It gave me that Harry Potter vibe. And yeah, so I really like that gothic, you know, especially the dress that she wore at the dance. That was really cool. I mean, I could watch that choreography moves that she did over and over and over again. That was so cool. Talking about stories and of my book that I had been reading, and I forgot the book in the house, so I'm going to try to remember. So it was In Style that I'm still reading. I'm getting there slowly but surely. It's all I got left. And then, of course, on my Kindle, I just have a little Kindle, and it's perfect. But what makes me laugh about this is that, I don't know if you guys go through it, if you have one, but every time I'm reading it, and I'm like so tired, Kindle has to come up with something rubber on here because it constantly falls on my face. I'm so tired that my fingers just like going bloop. And I'll be like, oh, get up. You're not finished reading yet. So, In Style, they finally, I took down notes and I forgot to bring the book out here with me. I think it was finally in chapter 15, where one of the guys that she likes, which is called Liam, he was a director. He was a director from LA. Finally flew in to London to meet with her. And he finally, a kiss broke out, And I was like, oh my God, finally something. A little romance was finally thrown in there. And Mona, being the stylist, she had went through the series of, they really don't really know, well, I should have brought that book with me. Amber, who is the stylist or the assistant stylist, she doesn't really know what's going on with her boss, and she had only been out to what was it, London? London or somewhere, or I don't know, either in London or somewhere near London, to help her out with the premiere of one of the starlets. And those 2 weeks went by really fast for her, and she did all this running around, got herself sick, and fainted, and then her boss ended up getting drunk, and she blamed it on food poisoning, but through all that, the main person, Mona, still wants to keep Amber on. Still wants to be with her, and still wants her to assist her to doing all that PR stuff. So she's not really sure if she really wants to do it, because all the running around and barely not eating, and she's worried about she hasn't seen any money yet, and she has to pay rent, and all that stuff, and she's like, yeah, but like I got to think about it, because I'm doing all this work and I'm not seeing anything really in return. So excuse me. So she's thinking about it, and like I said, finally, and then Rob, there's this other acquaintance, another gentleman, Rob, and he really likes her, and he also fancies her, and he also caught Liam and her kissing. So it's kind of like, oh wow, so what are you gonna do about that, because you like her too. So I don't know where that's gonna go. But and then she has the other person, which is Ty, I think that's his name, but he's involved with the starlet. And every time she flusters, every time she sees him, she flusters. And the reason being is because she had to lie to him, only because what happened was that she was trying to save the starlet's reputation. So she had to make this big lie about, the guy that you saw her in the whatever in the social media, her kissing somebody, that was nobody. And she made up this whole fabrication, and I let the guy Ty know that, yeah, and that's how Hollywood life is, and blah blah blah. But he still ends up for some reason always liking Amber, and every time Amber sees him, she gets all flustered and stuff like that. So now we have 3 guys after her. I don't think she likes Liam anymore, because she was like, when they met at a cafe, she was supposed to meet Mona, and Mona was offering her that position. But before Mona showed up, Liam just ended up giving this eye, and he'd been wanting to kiss her for the longest time, and they did. But the kiss turned out being aggressive and not being what she thought it would be like. So she was like, no, this is not at all what I thought. I was like, you got your tongue down my mouth, I can barely breathe. I'm like, she's like, what the heck, what is this? Where do you get off kissing somebody like that? So that kind of like turned her off right away. So I think Liam's done. So now she just has to deal with Rob and Ty. I think that's his name. And I'll bring the book with me next time, because I'm taking notes as I go. As for the little girl sleeping, Katie, the investigator, she ended up in a sinkhole. Apparently, when she went after, when the guy who knew Rich or somebody, the killer, found out that she was, disclosing all this stuff and finding out that he was the killer, he wanted to silence her. So he took her, knocked her over the head, or did something with her, stripped her practically naked, and she was just in her undergarments, and threw her in a coffin. And as they were riding, he tried to dump her somewhere, but never got to it, and he ended up just pulling the coffin out of the truck, throwing her to the ground with her in it. And he finally let her out, and he was just like, not yelling at her, but telling her, because of this and this and that, because what you did, you're gonna go through what the little girls went through. You're gonna die as well. But before, and while they were talking and arguing and so forth, the ground just started shifting under them, and the ground just fell, just went gone underneath their feet, and they fell, a few feet down. She tried to get back up, but as she tried, she fell even further. And when she finally made it up to the top, and she was thinking about helping Richard, because he was hanging on something and he was in that sinkhole as well. But the ground just took him. The ground just sank again, and he disappeared. He was like gone. But at the same time, she fell too, and she fell even further down than where she was the first time. So it made it even more difficult to even think about getting out, or the possibility of being rescued was like minimal. Like, she's who knows where, and no one's gonna be able to hear her scream. So she is like gonna die there, like there's just no way anybody's gonna be able to help her. And so finally, her little doggy, Cisco, finally was urging McGavin, the other deputy, who kind of likes her. No, he does like her, I think. Anyway, he got, was trying to find out where she was at, and Cisco was, I just don't understand how a dog can know how far they were, but, he evidently, the dog knew how far she was or where she was at. And so McGavin finally got to where Cisco led him, and he was finally able to hear her faint, screams and yelling as he called out her name. And she did, he goes, oh, I can hear her. Then finally, he was able to, I think what is called, I don't know, it's kind of like a rope that winds up in back of a truck or in front of the truck. So he tried to throw it down to her so she could grab it, but it was kind of like too short, and she had to jump in order to get it. But then she finally grabbed it, and then he he had to crawl on the ground to see her, because the ground was just so unstable. So he finally, she finally grabbed it. He, crawled back to the truck, started, winding that rope back up, and finally got her out. Finally, after I don't know what chapter, I think it was chapter 35 or 40, and he sees her, like she's like hypothermia, she's freezing and stuff like that. So he tries to, find a blanket to warm her up and stuff like that. And while he's doing that, he finally kisses her and tells her, oh, you're safe now. You're gonna be all right. And that's where I left off. And in fact, it took in both books, actually, it took forever, to get to a scene, a little affectionate scene. I'm not into all that, like lust and stuff and all this, the tongue being down there and who knows where else. I'm not into that. I like pleasant, pleasing intimacy, not erotic or exotic or whatever you want to call it. It's not my thing. I like to see a gentleman, behavior. So, yeah, so that's why it's supposed to rain out here, as a matter of fact. I'm waiting for raindrops to drop like any second. But anyway, yeah, so that's where I left off, and I'll be next week. I'll let you know what happens to Amber Green, if she's gonna decide to stay on with Mona, or if she even takes Mona's place and becomes the stylist, which I'm kind of guessing she probably will because of the name of the title of the book. As for Katie Scott, Is she gonna stay being an investigator? I mean, I'm almost like close to the end. I only got a few more chapters to go. It was kind of like a short story, but good. You know, is she gonna stay as a detective? Is she gonna stay with May Gavin, and or what's gonna become of that whole story with that? I don't know. I guess I won't know until I get to the end. But they're both good reads, and I have 3 new books that I can't wait to get started. And yeah, I'll just bring you guys along with me, and you know, and definitely bring my book out here next time, because I'm like trying to remember in my head everything that I read, you know, everything that I wrote down. So thank God I wrote things down, because when you write things down, it kind of like sticks in your head more. So I was really glad that I did that. Okay, so the cookies were good. The black cherry berry tea was awesome. Still liked, what do you call it, the movie Wednesday. I don't think I'll watch it again, because it just, you know, it's just too much. But I probably will go back and watch Dancing one more time, but then that'll probably be it. And yeah, so that's it. And I'm glad you spent some time with me to listen to my updates on my stories, and like a fish in the sea. So glad you caught me, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.